Yeah, I'm very happy to have Pierrick Seybald here today. And it was a bit tricky to get this call together because he's basically right now in Moorea and I'm in Portugal, so it's like a 10 to 11 hour time change, but finally we made it. And yeah, it's gonna be today a very interesting talk about, yeah, basically about Pierrick's ocean business in Moorea and French Polynesia. For everyone that doesn't know where that is, it's basically from Europe on the other side of the world, in the Pacific Ocean. And we met, yeah, basically through his business, Moorea Moana Tours in Moorea. And yeah, maybe you just introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself, Pierrick.
Yeah, so hello everybody. So my name is Pierrick Seybald. So I'm from Moorea. It's an island where I grew all my life. So here we are like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the South Pacific. So we are very little island in the middle ocean. They are only ocean. So when you grow in that environment, you used to be with animals. You used to be in the ocean every day, and so that's why my lifestyle is mostly around this. And I'm 39 years old now, so I always grow with my parents in the tourism environment too. And today I have two business, and I'm happy to work with that business because it's my passion to share everything about the ocean with people, and I have the possibility now to bring people swim with humpback whales and sharks and all the marine species that we have.
Mhm. We had a little talk before, and you were saying that basically you started when you were younger to be in the pearl farming. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because,
Yes, so
yeah.
mostly I was at school until 18 years old. My first plan was to be a pilot, but I never did it. I was focusing mostly on having fun and surfing every day, go fishing every day. And at one point, you have to win money. And my mother, and my father have like a pearl business, so it was the easy way for me to be my own boss and do my own schedule because I like to be free. So at 18 years old, I created my own business of pearls and I sell black Tahitian black pearls during like maybe 8 years. And before do all the business that I do now around the marine wildlife. But yeah, it was 8 years doing pearls and make money with that and who permit me to be comfortable in life and to continue my passion of the ocean.
Mhm. So for everyone that doesn't really know, I mean, in Europe, a lot of people wear pearls, but how does a pearl actually grow? Like how much time does it need? Like like for instance, I got from Tahiti black pearl.
Oh, you got it? Okay,
Yes.
it's a round one. It's a drop shape. I can see from here, but mostly the black pearl. So our economy is it's one of the biggest part of our economy in French Polynesia. Black pearls is very famous. So to have a black pearls, you have to insert inside oyster, like we call that the nucleus. It's like a little ball like this, very small, that is made from an oyster from the Mississippi. Is white. You put in our oyster, and our oyster is like a defense for her to create material around, and it's like that you have a pearls. It takes about 1 to 2 years to have a Tahitian black pearls, and every pearls are different. The most expensive one is when the shape is perfectly round and have no imperfection on. But you can have mostly of the pearls that are like a drop shape with some line around that much cheaper. So one pearls in 10 pearls are round. And the values depend on the shape, the quality, and also the size.
Mhm. So you said you started, when did you start your businesses? So you have basically Morea Moana tours where you can do like humpback whale tours where I also like attended to. That's why I got to know you. And then the other business is about sharks, right? So how did that?
So we have two business. It's Moorea Monato, the main one, actually the one we work the most in Moorea, and we have also the second one, Pacific Attitude. Both of this business, the main goal is like to bring people with us in our ocean around Moorea to discover all the marine animals and swim with them. So know more about marine animals And it can be different species of sharks, of dolphins, of whales, turtles, rays, anything that we have around to show to our guests. But our specialty, it's humpback whales and sharks. So I have no specific business for sharks, but we have a foundation here in French Polynesia. The main focus of this foundation is to protect sharks in French Polynesia. So, like you know, sharks are in danger in the world, and they are very important for our ecosystem. So we try with this foundation to participate to their protections. It's the name of our foundation is Ma'o Mana Foundation. Ma'o mean in Tahitian sharks. Mana mean the energy. So mostly that's mean the energy of sharks. And we create this foundation maybe 5 years ago. And the two business we have with in the tourism, we create that like 8 years ago.
What does it make it so special for you to decide to work, especially with humpbacks and with sharks?
Sharks, it's a big passion for me. So it's a different energy to swim with sharks and a different energy to swim with humpback whales.
Yes, that's
So
true.
humpback whales are very intelligent animals. They are very pacifist. How you say pacific? They are very it's not
Sensitive.
this. Yeah. So when I grew with my parents here, they both my father was a free diver and very passionate about the marine animals. So I used to grow with all these animals, and shark was always like something scary for me. I was a fisherman for a long time before I interact with them. And then you have to understand here when you free dive and spearfishing fish, you always in conflict with the sharks.
Yes.
So you can catch a fish, but the sharks want the fish that you catch. And you can have some different situations, can be sometimes negative interactions, it can be dangerous. And so I get always scared about shark, but also very like, wow, it's fascinating. And at one point, maybe 8 years ago, I got the chance to meet different people from Hawaii, and my girlfriend Corey Burkhardt, who is a shark scientist, and so she learned me a lot about these animals and changed a little bit my vision about them. And I began with her to interact with these animals and understand, okay, it's possible to have great interactions and to have a great moment with them, not just be a conflict. And I begin at this point to learn a lot about these species, and my passion grew a lot at this point. And then now it's an animals that I love to share space with them, understand more the behavior. My specialty actually is to understand shark behavior and to react in the good way in different situations to avoid negative interactions or something like any accidents. So it's what I do actually in Moorea too.
What is the main sharks that you can find in the area of Moorea?
So in Moorea, so here we have a lot of different species. So the shark that most of the people know here is the black tip sharks. That's a common sharks that we can find everywhere in the lagoon or close to the reef. He's not a big shark. He can be like 2 meters. He only eat prey at the size of his mouth. He's very he's not a good hunter. He eat mostly sick fish, dead fish, or fish are sleeping. So he's not a good predator. But that's the shark that we encounter the most. But we have a lot. We can have lemon sharks, the nurse sharks, the white tip sharks, the oceanic black tips. We can have hammerhead. We have, yes, my favorite one is like the tiger sharks. It's the stars of our ocean, we will say. We have many pelagic sharks like the silky sharks, the mako sharks, the blue sharks. We have a lot. We have the whale sharks, a lot of different species.
Cool. So some people might know you through the documentary also, which is on Netflix and also on Disney Plus or whatever kind of channel about Kamakai. So
yeah.
how was this? How did it come that who came towards you to do a documentary about tiger sharks?
So French Polynesia first is very famous for sharks. The second, my girlfriend Corey Burkhardt, she's very famous in the shark world, so they know she was here in French Polynesia, and so she was already on the different shark show before arriving here. So, but the fact she's here, it was a good opportunity for National Geographic to come here and to study a very interesting and important area for us in French Polynesia, in the atoll of Rangiroa. So this place, it's amazing because normally there are no place in the world when you can see like 20 to 30 tiger sharks in a lagoon. It's a pelagic sharks who he travel a lot, and this area we don't understand why they're all the time here and all the time the same sharks. So it was interesting to first we are doing a study on this area, but interesting also to show to the world what's happening there. So they contact Corey for that. And of course, when you dive with sharks, it can be sometimes very complicated, especially if we have 10 tiger shark around you. So I was my job during this TV show was to be the safety. So when the cameraman, the people was diving with multiple tiger shark, I was in charge to be sure they don't get touched by any sharks or bite by any sharks. My job was to mostly be sure everybody's safe.
So I'm working with a lot of people, like in general, who love the ocean. Like, I mean, my main job is a business coach, but I work with a lot of people who want to create their business to be more with their passion, which is diving, surfing, free diving, scuba, whatever kind of stuff in the water. And I met also a lot of people already that are in fear of the ocean when they can't see what's underneath them or stuff like that. What would you recommend to people like who are in fear of sharks or the marine life in general? Because I mean, you have been coming from that point as well at a certain point where you realize, okay, as a fisherman, it can happen that you have half of the fish when you're the lineup or spearfishing that the shark is attacking the fish. Like you said, the knowledge helped you a lot that your girlfriend brought to you, right? So like understanding more about it, but what would be your advice to people that are still scared about the ocean?
I think, yeah, it's a totally different background for people. They grow in the town, they see movie about sharks. It's very easy to have a negative perception of these animals. But I mean, the most important, if the people they want to understand, and they have to, for sure, if there are no sharks, no ocean around, they have to travel. But it's very important to find the good people to educate them on the animals they will be interested in. So sharks, anywhere you go in the world, is very important. First, if you have fear to go with people, they understand very good this animal and they have a lot of knowledge because they will show you the good way to be in the water safely with these animals and to understand better the behavior and how react to the different behavior. It's very important. And of course, it's not just that about sharks. It's very important. People understand why they are important for the ecosystem to change their mind and not just see some animals want to buy them, kill them, or something like that. They are very important for our ocean, and ocean is very important for our world mostly. So it's very interesting. I love that in my job to bring people and make them swim with these animals when they have a lot of fear, and when they come back to the boat and they are safe, they are like change them. The idea totally change. They have a smile, and it's very easy to turn them to negative to very positive for these animals for sure.
Maybe you want to talk a bit more about why the shark is so important for the ecosystem, because some people are not doing so much research about the ocean and they're not really aware about why the shark is very important for our oceans.
I mean, they are the super predator to predator. There are many things to talk about that, but a very simple example. Where you go in the ocean, where you have a lot of marine life, fish, a lot of things happen. Often you have a lot of sharks. When you go to ocean with nothing, you have mostly no sharks. Very simple example. Imagine a population of fish. All the time in different population of fish, you have often like you can have like fish like they are sick or stuff who like they're not evaluated good and maybe no good for the next generation. The sharks, for example, they participate to be sure that the population of fish are healthy, like by eating, for example, the non-unhealthy fish, you know. So they regulate the fish population, but there are many different examples. They are just a super predator, and they regulate the different population of poisson, of fish. I talk in French at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No
but
worries.
yeah, it's a good example. For example, for good healthy fish population, sharks will always um, take the one is unhealthy and permit to the all the fish to be healthy, like for reproduction, and give a good healthy fish population.
Yeah. I feel also one very important part is to connect more with the nature because I mean, where I'm living right now in the Algarve, it's a lot of people grew up at the ocean. For them, it's also very natural. I'm in the freediving scene, so for them, equalizing underwater is totally normal. Some of them can't even explain. It's the same as we're walking or breathing, something supernatural. And what I discovered is that when I was swimming with the humpback whales, I started in Tonga, and then I went to Tahiti, did another trip there, and then the trip with you guys in Moorea. And for me, actually, the humpbacks felt supernatural, like as if I did nothing different before, like as if I did that for many years already. And I was very surprised because I thought I'm gonna be probably very emotional or something, but I felt very, very comfortable. And then I went to Fiji's to go diving with the bull sharks, and I was very nervous, even though I'm scuba dive master and I have lots of experience in scuba diving, but and it was a 12-meter dive. Um, so it's very shallow for a scuba diver, but I was very nervous before, and made sure that I'm on the part where they are arriving the most because they're feeding them basically there, which is probably not the best, but that's the touristic way that they do it. And it was very, very impressive. But at the same time, I felt also way more nervous than with the humpback whales. What is your perception about what's the best way to dive with a shark? Like the best and most ethical way for you to dive with a shark?
But with the sharks, of course, you have to not forget it's a shark, so the situation can be positive, negative all the time. You have just to be ready. The best way to dive with the shark, but first you have to have a lot of respect for these animals. But like I told you, it's very important to be with the right people because for sure you will not go in the water with sharks if you have zero experience because you have to understand a lot of things about these animals. So for example, me when I go with my people, maybe you get the briefing on my boat with the wares about the sharks. I hope my guide did to you.
Yes. For the
Yeah.
ocean. I mean,
For the
basically for me, it's very normal to have the black tip or white tip reef sharks because they can just be surrounding and they're basically very shy also. And like, as you said, they're not really hunters or something, but they said about the oceanic white tip, like, or not the oceanic black
yeah,
tip.
is that the oceanic white tip sharks?
Oceanic white tip, I mean, they're not used to see humans normally because they're pretty far out normally in the ocean, right? So they said that if they see interaction, which is different than fish, it might be that they're so curious that they just come towards you and
Yeah, it's
see.
a very unpredictable sharks. The bull sharks can be also very unpredictable, but where you was, they used to be fed, so
Fed.
they know the game. You know, they know
Yeah.
how it works. And I imagine your the person with who you was make you a very good briefing before going to the water.
Actually, in Fiji, it was very interesting to me as well because the Fijian culture is like everyone that has been there, they're like smiling the entire time. They love to play the music and stuff. It's very a very happy culture, similar to French Polynesia, where everyone is having a very special vibe. But when it
Mhm.
came to the shark preparation, they were very strict. So, which
Yeah,
is good. And so basically, they put the divers around 12 to 14 kilos, depending on the weight, to really make sure they stay down, that you're not floating
yeah,
around. Also, they said they basically have like a little stone wall, which is half meter, so it's not big, half to 1 meter or something from the ground. There's no cage or anything like that, but they have on the left an area where they're feeding the fish with sticks.
yeah,
Fish is on front, and they make sure that you can't put anything like your hands, head, GoPro, whatever you have with you. You can't put anything beyond the wall. So if if someone even puts just a finger out, they turn you around so you're facing the wall for 35 minutes, which is
Oh yeah.
pure torture because you know that they are there, you want to see them, and then they don't make any jokes with that. So if anybody does a little joke or something and puts something across the wall, because that means the shark sees a behavior that it's not used to. So it could mean that they're coming towards and want to bite.
They think it's food, right?
Yeah, they're giving the food. And
Yeah.
so the sharks are like used to, yeah, go for what they're giving them. So if you
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
finger, a hand, something, it could be that they go for it.
Yeah, they know the game and they think it's an opportunity to get food.
Exactly. So they
Yeah.
were very strict and they said, yeah, we're facing you towards the wall if anybody does that. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think it's very good because just the idea being faced to the wall and there's all this interaction
Sharks
going
behind.
on is a
Yeah.
very shit feeling. So nobody did it, obviously. And also they
So,
have
but they do that to like, if you do a mistake, they do like mostly to punish you, or
no, they do that, that you make sure to not do that, to not to
okay. Because
respect
for
the
me, it's
rules.
very important. For example, for any situation in the water, you have to be aware about your environment, especially with sharks. You have to see everything what's happening, and you
No,
can
but
be facing a wall.
yes, but they are having like basically, I don't know how many guides. So there was on the left and on the right a guide that
Hmm.
was with a stick, and they have like a little ball in front.
Yeah, just to make a separation with
Exactly.
you
So
and
when
the
they
shark.
were coming very, because they were coming sometimes very close, so I had to
Hmm.
be a little bit like, and it came
Yeah,
above the head. And then they're just like redirecting them. So they're
yeah,
just
redirecting the sharks. Yeah,
touching the shark's head, just gentle that it's like turning the direction. So even if you would face the wall, basically it would be super, super safe because they have like, I don't know, 5 safety divers.
that's
Um,
very good. More you have safety level, better is it, because with sharks you can do any mistake. Especially bull sharks. You lost the arms, the legs very easily. So,
yeah,
so if can be not a predation bite, any bite with that kind of species can be very bad. And of course, all the time when you have an accident in the world, the media and everything make it crazy. It's not good for the sharks. It's
yeah,
not what we want. So when you do this activity around sharks, you have to be very strict, and it's mostly have to be zero chance of bite.
yeah.
It's very important. But what I say to my guests when they go in the water, so very important. I mean, when you go swim in the ocean, in the deep blue, you don't know specifically everything what will come to you. So you always have, I always say to my guests, first entry in the water slowly, no splash. It can stimulate any pelagic sharks, and to any noise can stimulate, bring them to you. So mostly you have to be on group, swim together, the fins under water, very slowly. If we are moving to see backwards, but always check all around you because the sharks can come from the back mostly. If me I see a sharks, mostly I will do a noise in the water like and attract the attention of my guests. They already have the briefing in the boat. They hear that. They will stop to move. They will be like one group, one person, very together, close. They will put themselves vertical in the column of water. We want to make ourselves bigger, to impress the sharks. Of course, I will say to my guests all the time, have eyes contact with the sharks. The sharks will always try to take the advantage on you. So if you make yourself big and they know you see him, it will be like, oh, it looks big. They see me. I can't surprise them. Maybe it's better I stay away. But after every sharks have different personality and different behavior every day. If you have a shark that didn't eat during the month, it will be not the same behavior than the sharks eat good yesterday.
Mhm.
So it's always different, I will say. But if you do this very simple thing, like is establish your eyes contact, understand behavior, and after, of course, you have to recognize the negative behavior and the good behavior. If the shark stay a little bit away, he don't come very close, he swim very slowly, it's fine. You can stay in the water, enjoy the situation. If you have not so much experience and you have sharks going fast, going to the contact, investigate all the time, and do that constantly, it's not a good sign. It would be better to organize how go back to the boat as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of little things like this with sharks. Is very important to understand the behavior.
So for everyone that listens now, it's like there's a very big difference also like in Fiji they do scuba diving, and people are just sitting down, no interaction at all, and they're just like making sure and they're just sitting there basically. And where else where you guys are, you in the open ocean, like they are always like close to the reef, and you guys are basically with free diving fins mostly, right?
Mm.
Um,
Um, us the guide, yeah, after the client, not
or
us.
like small
Yeah,
fins, but not like without a tank, and mostly swimming, right? So like snorkeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So for if anybody ever did like a humpback whale swim, it's basically that in French Polynesia you don't dive down, right? I mean, most companies say you stay on the surface because
Yeah,
you're
that's the rules.
their habitat, and it's like crossing the highway with a bicycle or something like that. I mean, it's their ocean, it's their habitat, so we adapt to them. And how is it with the sharks? Like, because with the humpbacks, we made the experience that obviously, like, if they're feeling trustful, that the baby moves towards you. Because for everyone that doesn't know, like the humpbacks are basically coming from Antarctica to French Polynesia for mating and then giving birth.
Yes.
So like at that time when I was there, I think August, the babies have already, I don't know, several weeks or months maybe that
Yeah,
they're.
August they still have a small baby. Yeah, now the same baby they are much bigger right now
Mhm.
and interact better. And when they're very small, I don't know if you get the good interaction with baby at this period, but more they get bigger, more they get comfortable to
Exactly.
interact with human, and more the mom also is more like chill to leave a little bit space to her baby.
Yeah. I mean, I started the trip in Tonga, so I had a lot of whale interaction there. Um,
Okay,
the At least what they told me is that the whales are arriving earlier in Tonga than in Tahiti and Moorea. So they said the babies are a bit bigger at that time already, and the moms were
okay.
very chill. They were sleeping on the surface. The babies were very curious to come towards us. And the sharks, they have probably totally different behavior, right? I mean, are they also coming towards the humans when they're like just staying there and observing them? Or what's the typical behavior that you were like observing throughout the years?
Oh, it's dependent of which species. Then the black tip sharks generally if they stay with you around, it's because it's a feeding area. The shark will not stay around, especially if it's black tips. They are not good predator. They will just chill around you. If it's you, I'm thinking you was in Moorea, the stingray spot with the black tip
Yes,
sharks.
the
So
lagoon.
here it's a feeding area, so you have a lot of shark because they know it's an easy way for them to get food there. They are very smart, and they just hear the boat and they know, oh, cool, the food is arriving. So they
Maybe
are just
just
around
because
for
some
them.
people don't know what we're talking about. So it's basically like a lagoon where you can stand. So your feet are on the
Mm,
ground. The water is crystal clear, so you can see until the bottom, and the boat is like anchoring there. So then there's lots of mantas and also no, it's manta or stingray.
stingrays.
Stingrays. I was
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a lot of stingrays, and they're coming very close because people are even feeding them with some tuna or stuff. Um,
Mm.
and then there's a lot of black tip sharks that are basically swimming around very close. And maybe that, in my idea, I think that would be for people who are a bit scared about sharks and ocean life in general, a very good entrance because it's
Oh, that's the best.
it's first of all, it's very beautiful. I mean, the water is
Yeah.
just, like incredible, like the most turquoise I've ever seen in my life, and I traveled a
Mm.
lot. And then also, you recognize that they have zero interest in us as human beings because
Oh,
they're
yeah,
just
for sure.
swimming around. They don't care about the people. The stingrays are interacting because of the tuna mostly, but the black tip shark. I don't know. Is there also white tip sharks, reef sharks, or just black tips normally?
No, so this area, the first, like you said, it's one of the best spots in the world for people who have fear about shark because, and also for people not comfortable in the ocean because they have the water just right here. So it's a good opportunity for them to share the space with these animals and be comfortable, because when you don't know swim good and you go with pelagic sharks or shark with different behaviors, can be complicated. But yeah, mostly they are here because this spot was created by one guy like 20 years ago. He began to feed the animals there, and the animals are very smart. So now they know it's an easy way to get food in this area, and they are here like mostly all the time. Like the black tip sharks there, we have a lot the last 10 years, but before it was mostly just stingray. But they are no problem at all. But shark is a shark, so also if it looks chill and very peaceful, and they are for sure not here to bite you, it's very important to do that on the right way. So you have to know the shark finning in French Polynesia is not legal. There, this area, the people do it from 20 years, so I guess it's tolerated. But of course, you always have to be careful. Don't go. You have to analyze waste from the current when you put food in the water or anything. You don't want to place yourself in the current with the smell, because the sharks is a shark. He can just follow his sense, and when he arrived to one point, he touched something. He want to try if it's what he think, you know. So also if it's small sharks, it looks chill. You have to always work in the right way with sharks to avoid any accident.
Yeah. So then you go out with customers that are willing to really like interact, or like I don't know how is the interaction when they're in the open ocean with you and you go out with a boat, because you're looking specifically for sharks then, right? It's not that because most like if you're on a humpback whale expedition, then you go out to see the humpbacks, and when there's a shark coming, basically you make sure to be as quick as possible, probably back to the boat, or like slow but quick to the boat again. And how is that when you're looking specifically for the sharks? How is the behavior then?
Well, I have many people they travel here to specifically for sharks. So it depends on which species they want to see, but generally they like to go see the oceanic white tip sharks. So it's pretty easy to. This year was one of the best for the oceanic white tip sharks. We have different buoy placed at 5 miles around Moorea. So these buoys are anchored at 3,000 meters, and it's like the whole ecosystem is created around. And these buoys are here for the fishermen, the local fishermen. So the local fishermen go all day there to fishing tuna. So mostly in this area, you always have shrimp from the fishermen, fish distress, a lot of things that attract sharks. So we go in this area and we go in the water with our guests, and to observe specifically silky sharks, oceanic white tips. If you get lucky, you can have blue shark, but it's very rare. Um, yeah, the approach is different. Like I told you in the briefing that I did to my guests all the time, it's to enter in the water slowly, stay in groups, swim very slowly. When you have the sharks, establish a visual contact, eyes contact with the sharks, and then we are here. We analyze the behavior. We see the shark is here, he's chill, he's turning around. I always say to my people have no experience, to never dive. Often the oceanic white tip sharks, when you dive, if it's up to you, he will take the dominance and he can come straight on you. So no diving, stay on the surface, analyze the compartment, and enjoy the moment. I'm here around. Anything happen, the behavior can change like this with the shark. It can be very nice, and 30 seconds after, come to the contact, investigate, and like very calm all the time, often. So we have to push him with the fins mostly. Never use the hand if you have no experience, of course. But we have a big communication with my captain from the boat, because sometimes you have to be fast to get out, because when the behavior change like in the negative way with this shark is no joke. You have to do very good. So mostly the boat arrive, he plays in the good way, and the people get out slowly from the boat. I block the sharks, and all my guests in the boat we move.
Mm-hmm.
We have to respect that and not force for a negative interaction, you know.
Has there ever been a situation where you yourself were scared in a way of getting the customers back to the boat?
Oh yeah, many times. Many times we have like multiple sharks in the water, because often to observe the oceanic white-tip sharks, also you have to the very easy way to observe this species is when you find pilot whales.
Mm-hmm.
So they often behind the pilot whales because they are different uh, thing. So this is a bit disgusting, but apparently, and I saw that with my eyes in the water. So they follow the pilot whales and eat mostly their poops because they don't digest good their food and still have something inside and they are here and they go in the poop when they poop. But they also follow them because they use to find the food. And sharks are very smart. They know how to find the easy way to get food. So that's why they are often with this species. Pilot whales with oceanic white sharks, and sometimes when you go in the water with the pilot whales, you can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sharks. And at this point, if you have 1, 2, or 3 sharks getting to the contact, swimming fast, try to a little bit to challenge you, a little bit territorial, it can be complicated if you have 6 packs 6 clients with you have not comfortable with the sharks. We don't want anybody panicking for sure. And so yeah, I have 3 or 4 situations like this. We have to bring the people out. I have to push 2, 3 sharks in the same time until everybody's out in the boat and safe.
Yeah. I think a general advice that I like, in my personal opinion, is also that people who go, no matter what, like humpback whale swimming or who want to see the sharks, should be at least comfortable being good swimmers, and also that they have been at least once in the ocean already and feel comfortable about that. Because I saw some places where people were barely able to swim and they did that trips, and then of course they get tired very quickly because it's still the open ocean. And yes, it's beautiful out there in the Pacifics, but it can be rough as well. There can be days where it's very bumpy or people get seasick or stuff, and then there's other days where it's like a pool, so you never know, it's the open ocean. And
Yeah, for sure.
when I was in Tonga, we were daily like 7 to 8 hours on the boat, which is for me a dream. I love it. And I enjoy it a lot to swim in the open sea for 1, 2 hours. We were like very like swimming the whole time, or just like hovering around, chilling with the humpbacks. But some people were getting very tired and then they got seasick, and that can be a bad experience then. So I would advise everyone to at least be out with the boat before a little bit, just for a trip or something, just to try it out, or being a bit more comfortable in, or training a little bit in the pool before swimming a little bit more, because that's something that I think can affect as well. Because when the body is tired already and then a shark or something unexpectedly comes, it could happen probably quicker that people are panicking or
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
tired, and then yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why it's totally, we write this in on our website. We ask the people to actually get in good form physique to can minimum can swim like 100 meters,
Yeah.
And I mean, before going the water in our briefing about sharks, it's very easy to see when people are scared about sharks.
Mhm.
When you do your briefing, you can see in their eyes, some people are totally like, oh my God, no, I don't want to see ocean with deep sharks. And generally, it's very easy to find these people. And I told them, hey, we go with pilot whales right now. So it will be mostly 100% chance to see the sharks. It's not true. It's mostly 50% of the chance to have oceanic. But I told them it's a high risk to see them. And if you guys go in the water with me, you're not comfortable, you will panic, and I will have to take care of you and leave my group. So I don't want to do that. So I prefer you stay in the boat. That's the right decision. And it's what I explained to because with our foundation, we also educate all the safety diver here about how bring a group of people, of tourists, in the water with sharks, and that's the right decision to say, hey, stay in the boat,
Yeah.
because somebody panicking can be very no good with a shark with a negative behavior.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so for everybody that's listening and probably curious about diving with sharks, maybe starting with smaller marine mammals before, like with smaller
Yeah.
animals before, turtles or bigger fishes or even barracuda or stuff like that. There's so much wildlife out there. And then slowly maybe getting more used to the bigger stuff. And then, yeah, because for me, I also have to say, like, I mean, I love everything under the water, but when I was with the humpbacks, it was already a very special, very, very special experience for me. And then even being with the bull sharks, now I feel like, okay, that I felt very comfortable after 5 to 10 minutes, let's say, because then you're sitting, you're observing them, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're eating the fish, okay. They always came towards me, and then they had a look for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then they turned away because they're not very interested. They want to go for the food.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, of course.
it's like a buffet for them. So they didn't care about us at all. Um, and now I feel like, okay, now I would be maybe ready to go with the oceanic white tip. And then, of course, it would be also a dream of mine to go with tiger sharks at a certain point, but maybe to just go step by step. Maybe it's better yeah.
Yeah, it's like that you learn, huh?
Yeah.
Of course, step by step. Huh? I mean, me, I grew in the ocean, but I go step by step too. Huh? I was with small shark when I was little, and I go spearfishing with gray sharks, lemon sharks, and at the end, I find people who bring me with the tiger sharks, and I go very slowly, huh? And with people like experiment people. So me, I get lucky because my father did that, so it was pretty easy for me to learn. But also with all the experience that I have zero experience before to interact with tiger sharks.
Yeah.
So you have to learn with people, know what they're doing. And the best way for anybody to be in the water with animals, well, in the ocean, you have to learn first, and for sure. If you've never been in the ocean, it's very important to learn a lot before go straight with sharks.
Yeah. And I mean, I also believe that, I mean, you are probably also a good example. I mean, you were growing up at the ocean and were obviously, when you were younger, more scared about the sharks. And the more you learn about it, their behavior, and also it can create a passion. And I think that's a very beautiful thing for everyone that is listening because basically, where's a will, there's a way. So when you really want to, you can create a passion about topics that are interesting for you and also overcome the fears because the more you really see and be in front of those in the end, it will like get better and better. And I had a woman here that came towards me. She wanted me to take care about her because she had a big fear of swimming in general in the ocean to put her head underwater. So we started in the pool. It was very therapeutic in the beginning. She taught me about her story. She was crying, and it was very good to get all this stuff out. And it was very intense for me to hold the space, but it was very important. And then step by step, we did small like stuff in the pool, like just in the baby pool, and
Yeah,
then later on in the bigger pool. And now she's like a fish, like in the pool at least. Like she does all kind of swimming techniques and yeah, it was her biggest dream just to jump in the ocean without a fear. um,
yeah.
and that her face splashes in the ocean and she doesn't worry about what happens. So I think that everything is very possible, like to learn, if there's a will, and just to be ethical, because that's something I care a lot about. Because I saw in some places in the world, I don't want to finger point anything, but I was already in situations where I felt very uncomfortable because they didn't have permits, even though they told me they have for
Mhm.
humpbacks. The police came, the marine police, and we had to hide in the harbors, and that was very uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
Uh, and they said we should get off the boat, and I said I'm not gonna get off the boat. This is your responsibility right now, but I'm not gonna go in a harbor or in a bay that I don't know alone now off the boat, and you
Oh
pick
my
me up
God.
later. No way that I'm doing that.
Yeah.
That was in Asia. It can happen everywhere, so I think it's very important
Oh yeah.
to really make sure that the company has good recommendations. Um, I just go with tours where I know, at least from friends, that it's a good it was a good experience because they were also chasing the humpbacks, which is very uncomfortable and unsafe also for the people on
Mm.
the boat because they were going super fast. So people were almost knocking with their head to the aluminium and stuff. And I was like, oh dear. And it's stressing the whales as well. So
Yeah,
it's not good. And that's why I chose personally to go all the way to French Polynesia, even though it's very far away from here. But I was very happy with the ethics of every person. Like, I mean, in Tonga, there's a lot of regulations, so you can have just
yeah,
four people in the boat in the water with a whale, plus the guide, with one boat. And I was enjoying that a lot because then you can have very nice encounters, and they're peaceful, they're not stressed. And in Moorea and Tahiti, I had also very good experience because even though there's less regulations, you guys are communicating a lot with each other. So from one
yeah.
boat. So I think that's all factors that you want to take and keep in mind if you're, yeah, fancy to do humpback dives or swims or like being with sharks underwater. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You have to, for anybody who want to travel and experience marine wildlife, it's very important to try to do some research before to check which company do it in the right way, because I mean we win money by with because the animals. So when you do that, it's very important. I always say to my guests, hey, we go on the ocean today. We don't go to SeaWorld.
Yeah.
So we go and we don't know what we will see. Sometimes the ocean can give you a lot of things. Sometimes you can have nothing. But you are here with us to observe humpback whales today or sharks. You have to respect they are like wild animals and we control nothing. And if you get lucky, you are lucky to find the whales or sharks or anything. You have to understand when we go in the water, it's not like some people they think they pay a tour and they think, okay, if they don't see anything, oh, that's not normal. But that's marine wildlife, so we never know in advance. But you have to always be very respectful when you are in the water. For example, with humpback whales, I saw so many people they just chase the whales. They want to have the selfie or the pictures. Oh my god, it's horrible. First, you're in the water, you observe the whales, you observe the behavior. You have to wait the interaction to come to you and not chase for an interaction. It's very important. And it's more beautiful when the animal decides to come to you and not the
Exactly.
inverse. Is
And
what we
also,
research.
it's a good if you are looking at humans in general. I mean, nobody likes to be chased, and the
Yeah,
normal natural behavior is when someone chases someone else, the person runs away because that's the normal instinct since it's this like fight and flight instinct that we have since humanity was born. So it's the same with an animal. If you would come towards them in a probably very euphoric or whatever kind of way, is the most natural thing that they're moving away because they don't want that.
yeah, of
With
course.
sharks, that they might get aggressive and like not or like
Yeah, they
more
can
euphoric.
respond negatively. Yeah,
Exactly. So then something can happen, and it's what is as you said. Like I mean, everywhere, also in scuba diving in general, in a regular dive, when you're the most chill and just in a very good calm energy, they are coming towards you anyways. And with humpbacks, that's something I'm very fascinating in because I mean they can sense energies from very far. And we also had this experience one day, everyone was a bit sad, like a bit down because we were a lot of days on the water already and we were
mm,
tired and the ocean condition was pretty rough. And there were less whales coming towards us because the energy was very different. And then other days, people were super happy and calm and they came more. So it was very interesting to see that there is actually also sensing human energy.
yeah.
Um,
I'm sure all negativity can be felt by any animals, for sure.
of course, yeah.
Mm,
One topic that I still want to go into, and then we slowly finish this also, is I heard that when whales are giving birth, that is barely discovered by anyone, because of all the blood that attracts the sharks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have you heard about that? Like, or did you hear anybody who ever saw a baby whale being born or giving birth?
In French Polynesia, nobody filmed that, but I heard film in different country, like I think in Hawaii recently, or maybe Japan. They filmed that, but it was not a predator run. But I'm not surprised. It's for sure with all the blood, it can be predator, and you can see the tiger shark season in French Polynesia correspond to the humpback whale season. So maybe it's something we don't know. They are not proven of that, but for sure, if a humpback whales give birth, I wouldn't be not surprised if they are predator around. They will for sure be interesting, for sure. But nobody film it, nobody see it, so it's hard to talk about it
I mean,
here.
it's also good, I think, because it's a very private thing that, I mean, imagine a human
Yeah,
giving birth and there was a camera team filming everything. So it's probably also very good that there's still things that are not discovered by
yeah,
scientific.
because we spend a lot of time in the water with different animals, and especially the humpback whales actually, and nobody see it here, so it's still very mysterious.
What is your, what was your most special experience with any kind of animal underwater? What made it very interesting for you? Your most
Wow,
favorite?
so many, but I have some very scary situation, and my I think with tiger shark is my favorite animals because I interact a lot with them and I understand them very well now, their behavior, and I have a lot of pleasure to be with these animals. Huh? But I think the situation, the craziest and the one I will always remember, it's so one day I was not on tour with my company. I was just surfing with a friends, and my girlfriend, she was on tour, and they call me and they say, "Oh, Pierrick, we are like um 5 miles offshores, and we have like pilot wares, humpback whales, dolphins. We have a lot of oceanic white-tip sharks. It's very crazy. It's just us. You should come." I say,
Mhm.
okay. I get my material with me. I say to my friend with his jet ski to drop off me where they are. So I arrive in the area. My girlfriend was here in the water with the guests and the team, and they was with oceanic white-tip sharks, whales, pilot whales, and all these animals was moving in one direction slowly. So mostly I said to my friend, okay, you can put me 100 meters in front by myself. You go see the captain, you just say Pierrick is there around. Okay. So the end, I was alone in the water, and I saw one, two oceanic white-tip sharks, pilot whales, cool. And at the end, I was like circling back at least 10 oceanic white-tip sharks. And they was beginning to challenge me to go to the contact one by one. And I was alone in the middle of the ocean. And I can't put my head out because I have to stay focused, eyes contact, block them one by one, survive mostly because I don't want to get by myself. And so I was trying mostly to survive with.
Yeah, no, that was funny because it was at the most
Yeah,
like
most important.
and then the signal got cut. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were just saying that you were surrounded by the ocean white tip sharks?
Mm-hmm. By
Yes.
myself, so in the deep blue, and I was just my hand like this and keep eyes contact with all the sharks and try to block them. And when I get time, I just put my hand like this for the captain see me and come to take me. But he was too far, so he didn't see me. And at one point, what saved me that day is I have two humpback whales from nowhere, from the totally deep. They appear under my feet from deep blue, and they come straight to me like this and like put all the shark away. It was like something miracle. And I was with the humpback whales. Then the captain behind see the humpback whales blow. So he comes straight because the main goal was to swim with the humpbacks, and he see me and I can go back to the boat. So yeah, mostly it was a very good story for me because I was with one of my favorite sharks by myself, but very critical situation, many sharks, bad behavior, and two humpback whales from nowhere come to save me.
Yeah.
So I will remember that all my life.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I think for everyone that listens, there's two big learnings. Probably one, don't do that. Like,
Don't do
don't
by
do that on
yourself.
your own because I mean, you are very experienced now in it, but even then, it's
Yeah,
always
it's
dangerous.
too much. It was too
So
much.
never get the idea to go alone in the open ocean,
Oh
especially
yeah.
not in Pacifics. Also in the Algarve, you shouldn't do that because the currents are very strong and the water is very cold. So even when I went for a little swim after surf or something, and I'm a very good swimmer, it's so easy to get caught by the current also. It's very easy. So I also had situations where I was out and waving, and they thought I'm saying hi. So I was not saying hi, and they all know
Help.
I'm a very good swimmer. So nobody got me out, and I had to swim out by myself, which was very exhausting. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. And but also what you were telling about the humpbacks, I think that's very, very beautiful because it's like as if they're sensing that someone is in danger and they're coming. And I heard a lot of stories about that already. Like one friend of mine taught me that there was a person doing a sailing trip and was
Mm.
about to head in a storm without knowing. And then eventually there were a lot of dolphins coming, a big group of dolphins, and like guiding him in a different direction. And then
Oh wow.
he didn't know why, but he was like, okay, then he was following the dolphins. And then later on, he got the news that there was a big storm he was about to head in.
Oh wow.
And there's just like so many amazing stories about that. And I think it's very beautiful because when we realize that we are all one somehow, it's like animals, humans, like early on, we were all probably born at the same time somehow, like the human race and all the animals. So I think that's a beautiful idea to think like that, so that everyone supports each other, even the animals and the humans, so that the overfishing stops and all that stuff, and also all this where people are cutting the shark fins off
Oh
or
yeah.
eating
No, that's
turtle
horrible
eggs.
what's happening.
Yeah, because some people also eat turtle eggs because they believe that it's giving them longer life or stupid stuff like
Mm.
that, and it's just nonsense. And it's very beautiful to yeah, to understand that energy is very, very powerful, and that even animals are sensing dangers and coming to help. So it's very nice. That's a very, very interesting story.
Oh yeah, I was so yeah, for sure. When I came back that night, I was thinking about that too. I was like, okay, I just get saved by two humpback whales, and I mean, already I already love all these marine animals, but when you experience that kind of stuff, you want to do more. You know, you want to protect them more because they are very different. And humpback whales is very. We have so many interactions. They look at you in the eyes and they want to understand you. Sometimes it's crazy. They search for interactions. It's like different than sharks for sure, but yeah, it's just emotional. It's very intense, and yeah, we have to protect more all these amazing species for sure.
For sure, yeah. I mean, for me, the most special moment was when there was a humpback mom and she was very coming very close and I was just not moving. And then I slowly already turned a bit backwards because she came very, very close. And then the baby
Mm.
also came towards me and she was just eye to eye with me. And it felt so special, like being eye to eye with this humpback mom. And then the baby came towards me so close that I really turned like 2, 3 meters back because it would have touched me basically.
Yeah.
But still, I was not scared at all. I just felt super, super comfortable. And I just had one situation where a male, because they are full of testosterone in that time of the year, because they are mating with the females, so they're singing and like having. I mean, you know all of this, but probably a lot of listeners don't. So they're singing basically to attract the female, and we have been on top of a singer as well. And it's very special because your whole body
But
vibrates.
the vibration is crazy. Yeah?
It's beautiful. And I mean, there's also a lot of documentaries out there about this. So they're traveling, the sound travels over kilometers.
Oh yeah.
They say 20 to 30 kilometers. I'm not 100% sure about, but that's what they say. And then I was also in a situation where we had, like, we were looking down and there was one whale, like, swimming underneath us, down, like, far down. And it was very special already. And then we had a look at the other side. There was another coming. And then we were on top of eight male humpback whales, and they were traveling
Wow.
underneath.
Mm.
And I'm not sure if it was a heat run, because
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
they were very slow though. I don't know.
Yeah, they can get slow at one moment.
Yeah, but that was so so special. And another moment, the a male, he was pretty crazy because of all the hormones, probably testosterone. He came so close to me, and he wouldn't go back. Was about to really like go for it. So I had to pedal backwards, and I have long freediving fins, so it's sometimes hard to go flip quickly. And I
Yeah.
was going backwards, and he was like going with a fluke and hitting my, luckily just the toe. So
Okay.
he hit my fin off, and my fin was gone. And the people,
Oh
they
my
caught the
God.
fin quite away right away and brought it back to me. But I was very, very lucky because I mean they have so much power and they're so big and massive. It would have break my foot if it would have been a little bit more up.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like it's very important to be respectful, listen to the guides, and they know what they do, they know what they say. So yeah, it's better even when someone's fancying about a good picture, what you said, or like, I don't know, wants to come very close, because it can be very euphoric. I know how this feeling is. Like you're like, oh wow, there's a whale. I want to go and see. And but I think it's very best to just stay where you are, moving towards the guide all the time, and then also moving backwards when they're coming too close, because
Yeah, for sure. You always have to avoid the contact. Always listen the briefing, and your guide is very important because it's not a sharks, but it's a big animals. And any mistake, if you get hit by on your head, you can die. Yeah?
yeah,
So if it's humpback whales, it can be. It's very important to follow any rules they told you for sure. Because
and
here this year we have like a humpback whales. She was very interactive. She come to the contact. She at one point, our government they send an email to all the whale watcher of Moorea to tell them if you see these whales, don't go in the water with,
yeah,
because she was searching for the contact all the time and she was going fast, and people don't know swim very good. You know, they can do anything. Then they can it can be a very bad accident too.
yeah. I mean, I think it's just the best to have proper respect, because it's a very big animal, and but at the same time to not get too scared about it or something, because they are very gentle in general. But
Oh yeah,
obviously, it's like having a truck that is maybe a bit unexperienced driver or something and don't know how to interact with other cars on the road. And yeah, then it can happen even if they don't want to hit.
yeah.
So it's, yeah,
Especially if you have no experience, you can especially avoid any contact. And if you have a humpback who is very interactive, come to you very fast, and you don't know how to get out, it can be very complicated.
yeah. So what is your guys' biggest goal towards this protection of the sharks and the humpback whales? What would be your dream to achieve in that area?
So what's cool about French Polynesia? It's we are like one of the biggest example in the world. We are already one of the biggest sanctuary in the world for humpback whales, different species sharks. So we want for sure the many part of the world will kill them to take example of us. That would be amazing. About the sharks, what is very interesting, it's so million of sharks are killed every years. But we realize more and more by different study than bring people swim with sharks now. and we hope in the future we can bring more money than kill sharks, you know. So what about country like Indonesia or different country where where like fishermen they kill sharks every day to win a little bit of money? Why we don't take these fishermen and say, hey, instead of kill a shark, win more money, but bring the people swim with the sharks,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it's we just want to be the best example. We already are very good for that, and we just want to expand that in the world because what's happening is not good for our ocean,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Um, cool. For everyone that is listening, what could they do for their part to protect the wildlife more?
But first, it's very simple. All pollution, how they use everyday thing in their life, have to be more respectful for the environment for sure. But it's not me. We learn them, and there are many ways to help our environment. And I'm sure not everybody live like me on the ocean. So on their way, just be more respectful about the animals, the environment. Like don't consume too much. You know, you don't need it. Buy when you buy your food, you have to be buy the most respectfully that you can. It's like many different little way to make it better. I know it's complicated, but if everybody do a little, it can be helpful for our world for sure. But yeah, I'm sure you live in Paris. You don't know anything about sharks, stuff like this, but if you want to learn, I know many people. My girlfriend, she's a specialist of sharks. She grew in Missouri. Missouri, you have no ocean, you have nothing. She just sees sharks on TV, and so it's possible to everybody to change their life. You know, she decided she want that, so she study biology. She go to Hawaii. She be a safety shark diver, and she just go to her dream. And now she one of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody can do their own dream, and if it's that they can do it. But yeah, everybody have to think differently how they manage their life mostly to be respectful for the environment.
Yeah. I think ethics is probably a good
Yeah,
way
I
of
do.
like
Mm.
being ethical, being mindful about everything, and don't do anything to anyone that you don't want to experience yourself. And then I think, yeah, and also always look for the experts because that's how you learn most. That's very enriching the horizon as well. I mean, to travel in
Yeah,
general, it's already very, very special for me. I met a lot of different cultures, and for me, the French Polynesian culture was one of the most special. Um, with the yeah, with the mana, what you were mentioning, this energy and kind of dances that they do, and like all this really, I mean, it's a very, very old history. And I found that very fascinating. It was very, very nice. So, um, cool. Is there anything else that you want to share or that you're fancy to talk about?
I mean, no, it was interesting to talk with you. I guess now you know me better. You know my passion is ocean, so hopefully more people come to see us, and I can share more that with people, especially from different place in the world where they have no access to ocean. It's one of my favorite thing to do, like show all that world to these people because it's very important they be aware in our world we have this kind of animals, ocean interaction, and we need all these animals to live to survive all together. So yeah, I would be happy to do continue this job, and thanks for sharing that with people from
Yeah.
me.
You're welcome. I think if anybody because I have a lot of listeners from Europe, obviously, from Germany, Portugal, and all over the place here around. And so if you ever want to go to French Polynesia, because a lot of people are already asking me, oh, I want to do the same trip, and it took me also a long time to really do it because it was a lot of organization. Um,
Yeah,
with day changes, I mean, for everyone that doesn't know, in my place it's Monday, in your place it's Sunday.
yeah.
Um, and just I think from Fiji to Tahiti, is already a different day, I think. I'm not
From
100%.
Fiji?
Yeah, from Fiji or Tonga or
Mm,
something.
I'm not sure.
I
I
was
know it's a couple
remembering,
hours, but not sure about the day. Maybe.
I was jumping a lot of deadlines. So for anyone that wants to travel to Tahiti specifically, or tomorrow, I mean Tahiti, you go first and then you take a boat for half an hour to be in Moorea. So that's very easy. But to come to Tahiti, the most easy way is, I think, is through Paris airport. And
Yeah,
then
if you're from Europe, yeah, you go to Paris first, and after you
yeah,
can. Well, you will have to stop in Los Angeles, and
yeah,
after get the connection to Tahiti.
exactly. I mean, you can either stop in Los Angeles or in San Francisco. And
Yeah,
I
someone and now Seattle too. They change it too, so you have 3 departure now.
Yeah, and I advise everyone to have at least 1 or 2 nights there, adjust to the jet lag, and then go further because it's a pretty
Yeah,
intense trip. I would fly 33 hours if I'm constantly from one to the other. It's a very long trip. But I can highly recommend like also to visit more islands in French Polynesia. I don't know how many islands do you have in French Polynesia?
118.
180. And
And
just
our place is mostly big like Europe with 118 islands.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, and the islands are very far from each other. So I mean, I've started in Tonga where I had to go through Fijis, and Tonga itself has 170 islands.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and those islands are mostly, I think, just 35 of them have life on them, like humans. All the rest is just animals.
Yeah,
Um,
we have many islands too here. There are nobody yet.
Yeah. So it's very, very special. And yeah, I will come back for sure in that area because for me it's my dream, it's my paradise. And if I
Yeah,
would start
especially
like I mean
if you want
I
to.
think yeah,
Sorry.
no, don't
No, I
worry.
say if you love like scuba diving and stuff like this, you just did Moorea.
No, no, I did Tonga,
No,
uh
but in a French
Tahiti and
Polynesia.
Moorea.
Yeah. So Tuamotu Island in our country is very good too. For scuba diving, like Rongiroa, Fakarawa, they're very famous for the shark dive and the dolphin.
I'm mostly into free diving now, but all this area is beautiful for any kind of dive anyway, so
Yeah.
it's very nice. Cool. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for being part of this. I will also tag Pierrick in the show notes with his Instagram that you guys can get in touch or book a trip or yeah, exchange. And yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Finally,
Yes, finally we made it. It took
was
like I
really
think
hard.
it took like since September, so I think it's like 1.5 months. Because
Yeah.
it's not easy to schedule this and with different
Mm.
time zones, obviously, and to have good
And,
internet because remote islands, the Wi-Fi is different and
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Cool.
So thank you so much,
Thank you.
and hope to see you again in Montreal.
Yes. So for everyone that is listening, you are yeah, like more than free to follow the podcast as well. There will be more episodes about ocean life, people's paths in life, people that achieve their dreams. And feel free to rate the show with 5 stars because then it's getting more popular for people to be able to listen to. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, send me all the details so